In this tutorial, I'm going to go over the latest Mocap Central Retargeter Simple pack that you can download. It's on version 1.06. A couple of updates to those who've used it before. I've actually done some renaming of the folders and characters to hopefully make that a little easier so you know what's going on. I've also added a couple of things. So I've also opened up the levels and the demo here, and you can see all the characters lined up. The one on the left here is the Synty Poly. The one just to its right here is the Synty Simple. And those who are new, if you go to syntystore.com, Synty creates amazing characters and worlds themed, and they have two types: the Polygon series, which has their own skeleton, and then the Simple series, which obviously simpler low polys, which has a different kind of skeleton. So this pack's all about being able to get your animations onto the Synty characters. As we move along, we've got the guy in white and blue here is a UE5 compatible skeleton. The grey guy is the UE4 compatible, and then on the very end you can see the word mix on this character. That's for Mizamo, and I'm sure a lot of you are used to that as you're looking for animations. It's a great resource to download free animations. So that's a compatible rig for Mizamo. I'm going to go through in this tutorial and go through each of the characters so you get a really good idea of what's going on. The one that's a little odd here is the Simple. The reason that is the Simple animations, if you're in Unity, the animations that come in there, the skeleton's slightly different from the base character. So that's why there's two. The guy with the hat is matches the animation, and then the guy at the front here is actually one of the characters, and you'll see a little about that later. Okay, so that's the introduction and now I'll go through each of the retargeters. Let's go ahead with the Synty Polygon characters and look at the retargeters in there. So if we click down and go to rigs, we can see we've got three retargeters. The Mixamo to the Synty Poly, UE4 to Synty Poly, and a UE5 to Synty Poly. So let's start with the UE5. If we double click and open it up, we can see it's all set up with both the characters, and there's actually a test animation in here that I can double click, and you can see that playing, and that's working. And if we wanted to export that, hit export, find a home for it, and we'll call it, give it a prefix so we know what it goes on to, and export. And we can see it right here, and the animation's there. Okay, great. So the animation's working. Let's actually see that working on a Synty character now. I have a Synty pack that I've downloaded here, and it's the Royale Polygon Battle Royale. So I'm going to migrate that package, take a quick look, make sure it's everything I need, and this is going to be, give me a moment to find the right location. Okay, and select. So I basically selected this project, the content folder, and it dropped it straight in there. Okay, so if we go into the Synty project and let's go to characters, and we can see we've got all the characters in here, and we've got a skeleton. Okay, I will show you quickly how things, what you might accidentally do. So you bring a character in, all right, and you know you've just made that single test animation exported. You go to animation, and then you see nothing in here. And the first step you've got to do is make rigs compatible. Okay, so I bought this new Polygon character pack into it. I need to put animations on to the skeleton, so it needs to be compatible with the existing Synty Poly. So I'm going to go to the skeleton file here, open that up, and you'll need asset details. If you don't see it, click here, window, go asset details to bring it up, and you're looking for compatible skeleton. Okay, hit plus, and then we're going to look down and we're going to look for the Synty Poly skeleton. Okay, and we're going to see that working. Let's take a quick look. Let's go to animations, and it's linked to that. So let's just close that. It's not a good way of viewing it. Let's go back to our character here. Now we'll see an animation there, and we'll hit play. And there you go. The animation's now working on a Synty character. It was as quick as that. That's how quick you can get this done. So I'll do a quick save all of everything I've got in here. set for the level. Actually, I don't need that. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, let's bring in another animation pack so you can actually see that working. So I paused the video there and I migrated into this project the Mocap Central Core Motion Pack. And you might have grabbed any pack from online, have animations for UE5 and brought them into your project. So we need to retarget those now because they're UE5 and they need to be put on the Synty character. So let's go to Rigs and let's open up UE5 to Polygon. Okay, as soon as we open it up, we look at the asset browser, you can see there's no other animations in here, even though I brought in that core motion. And that's, again, you've got to do that compatibility step. Super important, otherwise the animations won't show. So I need to find this character, and let's do that quickly. UE5, let's hit the folder there, and that should go straight to it. Okay, I'm going to open up the skeleton file, and I'm going to make sure asset details is up, and I need to make it compatible. I need to make it compatible with the core motion pack that I brought in. A lot of times, if you've got a lot of packs, this will get really busy in here. You can see there's already a slider. So you can go down and you can see the path there. And that says core motion, characters, mannequins, meshes. That's the one I need. So I'm going to hit that. Hit save. Okay. Now let's go back to the Synty Poly. And we'll open up this one. Now we can see all these animations in here. So let's open one of them up. There's a jog. And I think there might be a ran fast in here. Yeah, that you can bring in. Maybe we just want the one with no root motion. Okay, there it is. Brought it in. Now we can export it. And we'll export it to the top here again. MC Syn Poly _ export. Great. So now we've got two animations here. They're both working on the Synty character. I'm going to go back to my characters and I'm going to drag one of them out again, and we're going to take a look at the animations, and now you can see that new animation I brought across is in here. So if I hit play, there it is. Okay, so that's a quick overview there of bring animations across. So one extra point here that might be really handy for you is a lot of times people use the retargeter in their own, like a retargeter project like this one, so they can bring in all their packs and get all their animations done. And then they want to export them. So the way you export, if we want to do the RAM fast, you just right click, asset actions, and then go to export, find a place to export it, and hit save. That now is a compatible skeleton. So you export that FBX, and then now if you have a project that's your Synty, Unreal project, you can now drag that animation in, and when it asks for a skeleton, which to assign it to the Synty pack if that's what you're doing, and then when that animation comes in, it will work automatically. Okay, so that's me going over the first steps of being able to use the retargeter with the Synty Polygon. Okay, let's talk about the other retargeters in here. Obviously you've got a UE4 that works exactly the same. So if you had a UE4 animation pack, you could bring it in, or animations. Make sure you do the compatible with step, so the animations all show up in the asset browser, and then you can bring them across. In fact, again, there's a UE4 compatible animation in here, so you can see it working. All the same steps as the UE5. Okay. Right, the other one we have in here is Mizamo rig or character that's in here. Again, that retargeter is in under the Synty Poly. So in here, they look very similar, but this one actually has the word mix on it, and this is a Mizamo. So let's see that working now. I'm going to go here and, okay. I'm sure you're all familiar with Mizamo. If you're not, go to this site. You can get a load of animations to get your project started here. Okay, so I found this hip hop one here. I hit download. I chose without skin. These are the options. Hit download, and I downloaded that. Okay, great. So that animation came in, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to drag and drop that here, and we're going to assign this to the MC Mix because they're compatible. So let's hit bring in, and let's have a look at it. Okay, that looks good. it's working on that. Let's now go to rigs. Let's go to Synty and let's have a little look. Now we've got hip hop dancing, and now we can see that working. So let's do an export, and we'll put it under the retarget again, MC syn poly underscore export. So we have a new animation there. Let's go back to our Royale characters here. Who wants to dance? I think this person would love to do some dancing. Animation, not blueprint. Hip hop dancing, and hit play. There you go. So we have a Mixamo animation working on your Synty Polygon character. Okay, so we covered the Synty Polygon character series for animation. Now we're going to look at the simple, and that's these blocky people. Okay, let's go and have a little look at that. So if we go to sim for simple, we do have a couple of retargeters in here. And the one unique thing about the simple is that I actually don't have the source files. I didn't buy my simple pack. I just have the one, I think, from the store. I bought it from the Unity store. So I actually have the FBXs from there. I'm not sure if they look different than the source files that you download. I imagine they're the same, but let's just take a quick look at something. So the reason they're unique is, let me have a look at some images. So this is a character skeleton, okay? And you can see it has a hips joint there, and you can look at the naming. Now if I go over, this is the animation.fbx. That has all the animations in for this character. You can see this one has a root joint. There's a couple of oddities in there. I don't think that one has any clavicles, but this one has a clavicle joint. So those differences make it a little tougher for the simple. But only if you want to use the animations that come from the FBX that they supply. But if you want to just be able to bring over UE5 animations, let's have a little look. We should be able to, yeah, it's already set up here. So I already got the animations here, so you can bring over UE5 ones if you want. And you can see that's working already, actually. Let's look for the motion test, which I think is in here. Machine's running a little slow. I think I've got maybe too many versions of everything running in here. Why isn't that searching? I think I've bogged down my machine. Can't handle it. Let's have a little look. There you go. Anyway, you can see the UE5 work fine. Okay, and they work on the character. So you should be good there. Okay, so but if you wanted for some reason to bring over the animations from the Unity pack, let me have a little look. Let me find it. Where did I go here? Okay, so animations. I'm going to look here. Let me bring this in. Okay, if I bring that in, and I need to look at the... See, the difference here, we got a Synty Sim, simple, and then Synty Sim animation. So only if you need to bring animations in that Synty delivered with one of their packs, do you need to use this one. So I'm going to import and double click. And you can see the guy has a little hat on, and that means he's the animation one. If you scroll through here, they've got tons of animations in here. They're just very basic animations, right? So now if you wanted to bring that across, you can go to rigs and look at Synty Sim anim to Synty Sim. And then if we double click here, you can see that, there you go, hey, those come across. And then you just export them as you normally would. So that covers the Synty simple. Let's talk about the control rig for the Synty Polygon character. Okay, if I drag this out, you can see that straight away we have a full control rig, Unreal control rig for the Synty character. If you double click this, you can actually have a little look at it. Wait for it to open up, and you can see there's lots of different nodes in here, and I would say do some tutorials on the control rig. There's some awesome ones out there. It's super powerful. I've done a very simple setup on this. It's not too crazy. There's little things you might find odd, right? If I grab this and move it away, the handle moves with it, and you go, oh no, it's broken. But it's not. It's just, it's IK. It's just got IK controls on it. Okay, So that's the control rig there. So the way you could use this, when I dragged it in, it automatically makes a sequencer component, which is good. You can do some tutorials online to learn more about sequencer. It's pretty powerful. Okay, so I'm just going to delete that for now. I'm just going to take my character, my outline. I'm just going to delete him. I'm going to do this a slightly different way. Okay, so I'm going to go in and just grab my Synty character here. There we go. He's in the scene. I'm now going to drag him into my sequencer. Let's give him a moment. Okay, it's back in. I just noticed it wasn't pairing because for some reason, yeah, it had all these unchecked. So I need to say enable all so I can see everything. Okay, let's add an animation to him. We can hit anim and we'll do the motion test. And if I hit play here, that's the animation we exported earlier. Okay. So say now you have an animation and you need to adjust it. A lot of things might happen. You might need like a button to be pressed and to reach the right height. But we can just play around with this. So this is the animation that's brought in. First thing I want to do here is bake this to the control rig for the Synty Poly. And hit create. And now we've got all these controllers and you have all these keyframes in here. All right, for all the different parts of his body. And if you wanted to, you could start selecting these and deleting them or adding them. That gets a little confusing. Again, do a tutorial on this. It'll help you out. So instead, I'm going to say I'm going to build what we call a layer, and it's going to be additive. Okay, it looks like it just, let me make sure this is the whole M. And what this will allow me to do is do little adjustments on him. So if I take his head, for instance, and I want him to, you know, look further behind him. Okay, a couple of settings I'm going to do. First of all, I'm going to put auto key on. I'm used to that. That means if I do any changes on an existing key, I'll update it. You do have to do a foundation key to start with. Okay, so I haven't done any keys yet. There's no marks on here. What you really want to do is bookends whenever you're doing some animations. So his head is straight there. I'm going to hit S on the keyboard to set a key. All right. You could also go in here and just select that little button there, add key, like so. Then I'm going to look to where he looks there, all right, or maybe his head straight, and I'm going to set another key. And then in here, I'm going to grab his head and I'm going to move it around like so. And because I have auto key, put a little gray key. A gray key means it's just keyed, if we open this up, it's only keyed the rotation because I only rotated it, but the location and scale don't have any keys on them. If I hit S on the keyboard, it'll keyframe everything. I tend to do that. Everyone's different to make sure I've set everything. So now, as I scroll, you can see he looks a lot further away, right? So imagine you can do that with all parts on the body. You could raise his arm. So say I want his arm to raise when he's, you know, maybe this way, have it swing round more. I'd set a key, a bookend, the furthest part there, the keyframe, and then I'd set one here. And the reason I do that is if I change any of the keys on anything, it will now stay additive throughout the whole of the animation, which isn't usually what you want. So if I bookend, I can now record any changes within that, and I'm not going to mess anything up. So if I wanted to, I could have his arm. I've got snapping on, you know, I can, oh, I'm getting a better angle here. You know, I could lift his arm up and S key, and you can see just raises his arm and brings it down. And if we just play through it, it's not very exciting, but you get the idea. You can go through and actually start adjusting everything. And then you might have been done with your animation and you want to bake it all down. You can go up to right click. I'm just right clicking here, bake animation sequence, and now you can just give it a name, bake it out. And now, in fact, let's do it. Let's do, okay, I'll leave that name. It's not the best name, but I should be able to find it. Export. Okay, so I think it's in here. If I double click, you can see the arm come up. So now that's all baked down. So you don't have to deal with all the control rig. Okay, so that's a control rig. Many people can use this. There's also a live way of using the control rig in your game for IK feet, you know, to rest on the ground and so on. So have at it, have a go of it. All right. So I hope that helps you. in your endeavors to be able to retarget and use the Synty characters and get animations on them. Okay, thanks for watching, everyone. If you have any comments or any suggestions, please leave them in the YouTube channel below, or you can always reach out to me. Mocap Central has a Discord channel. Feel free to join that. Yeah, I'm often giving away some free animations, listening to devs and what your needs are. It's getting pretty good. It's growing quite well. So thank you, everyone. Have a great day.